beggar sits on a chair in a restaurant. He's surprised to see a lot of money on the table. He puts the money away and starts eating. A waitress sees him. Her mouth drops open and she rushes over. The waitress says, "Why did you come here?" She snatches the plate from the beggar. The beggar says, "I saw leftover food on the table from outside, so I came in to eat it." The waitress says, "Why are you eating leftover food? And how did you even get inside? Stop talking." She walks away. Another waitress comes and also scolds the beggar. The second waitress says, "You're still here. Get lost." The beggar quietly leaves. The second waitress picks up the money from the table. Outside, the beggar sits on the footpath. The first waitress brings him food and says, "I brought you fresh food. That leftover food wasn't fit to eat." The beggar says, "But you threw me out in anger." The waitress says, "I scolded you because the food was spoiled. Now I've brought you something fresh." The beggar says, "Can I really eat this?" The waitress says, "Yes, it's for you. Eat it, but don't sit here. Come with me inside the restaurant." She brings the beggar inside and seats him on a chair. The second waitress gets angry again. The second waitress says, "You brought him in again and are giving him food." The first waitress says, "If he eats a little food, what harm will it do?" The second waitress says, "I don't want to hear it. Throw him out right now." The first waitress says, "Who are you to tell me that?" The second waitress says, "Then take him home and feed him. Don't do it here." The first waitress says, "Stop talking nonsense. How dare you speak to me like that?" The restaurant owner arrives. The owner says, "Why are you both fighting? The whole restaurant is in chaos." The second waitress says, "I threw the beggar out, but she brought him back and gave him food." The kind waitress says, "She's exaggerating to turn you against me. This man was hungry and asked for food, so I gave it." The owner says, "This isn't a place for feeding beggars." The first waitress says, "Giving a little food isn't a sin." The owner says, "How will he pay for it? He has nothing." The second waitress says, "I told you to throw him out, but she didn't listen." The first waitress says, "Charge the bill to me. Stop fighting." The owner says, "Make sure the dishes he used are cleaned properly." The kind waitress nods. The owner leaves. The second waitress says sarcastically, "Feed him and take him home too." The kind waitress smiles to the beggar and says, "Eat peacefully." The beggar says, "They scolded you because of me. May God help you and never make you dependent on anyone." The waitress says, "I need your prayers. Now start eating." A fat man enters the restaurant, smells the beggar, and walks away in disgust. The beggar is still eating when the second waitress grabs him by the collar and throws him out again. The first waitress, furious, says, "You're so arrogant. You have no humanity." The second waitress says, "You've locked." The beggar is heartbroken and leaves. Both waitresses come to the owner. The owner says, "I'm not satisfied with either of you. No one listens to me. You both just do what you want." The kind waitress says, "You're misunderstanding me. I'm willing to follow all your instructions." She speaks excitedly. The owner says, "My son is coming. He'll manage the restaurant now. He'll choose between you two." The second waitress says, confidently, "My job is secure. I'm not going anywhere." The owner's son arrives and says, "I've interviewed both of you. In my own way, I'll select one of you and give her a promotion too. One of you I absolutely can't tolerate." The second waitress says, "I'm perfect for this job." The first kind waitress prepares to leave. The boss says, "How can you say you're perfect? You treat rich people well but have no respect for the poor. I don't like that attitude. I'll decide who stays and who leaves, and I'll marry the one I find perfect." He chooses the kind waitress and offers her marriage. The arrogant second